It has been 1 week, Thad, since Sporting Kansas City hired Gavin Wilkinson as sporting director. I think they've kind of weathered the initial storm, and I do not see them reversing course at this point. So to talk more about this situation, Thad and I are joined by Brandy Peed from Ladies of SKC. Brandy, thank you very much for joining. I am so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Since the Gavin Wilkinson news dropped, Ladies of SKC has kind of been the lone outspoken voice among the supporters groups about all of this. And for those who don't know, Ladies of SKC, one of several official supporters groups for Sporting Kansas City. They're under the umbrella of the Cauldron as the kind of the parent supporter group of all of them. You can find them in the Cauldron. You can find them scattered all throughout the stadium. They are everywhere. For many years now, they've been one of the strongest supporters groups, I would say. If you like to find them online, they are at Ladies of SKC. Facebook group is a good spot to find them. You can get them on Twitter as well. And if you'd like to reach out to them, ladiesofskc@gmail.com. Brandy, the name does a great job of speaking for itself, of course. But why don't you tell us a little bit about Ladies of SKC?
So the Ladies of SKC were formed for, ladies to get together and, share their love of the team, especially sporting and soccer in general. We do a little bit of, support for the current. A lot of us are, members or buy tickets or whatnot. We all found out that we really like hanging out together, because soccer can be a very male-centric sport, especially, obviously on the field, but also in the stands. And we had ladies who, were all over the stadium, that we had a central place that we all could talk about the games and stuff and not really feel judged when we were on other message boards about it. And we have been like very charitable. We've done tailgates together. We had a wonderful lady named Barb Goebel, who kind of represented our group for a very long time. And then she, unfortunately passed away, and we all kind of were like, what are we going to do now? And so we really all tried to step up a little bit, but with the pandemic, it was kind of hard for all of us to actually get together and do activities. And, all of a sudden, this hiring of Gavin Wilkinson has made us decide that we're, going to get out there and fight the good fight, because we just don't think that he should be a part of the sporting community.
When the Yates report came out, it was obviously such a crushing blow for everyone to face about the National Women's Soccer League, this thing we were all so proud of. And then to hear his name, this name so heavily implicated in the report, just be regurgitated a year and a half later. I just want you to tell us what that feels like as a fan of the game and as a woman.
I mean, for me personally, I feel like it's a slap in the face. I mean, this man, had many chances to protect the players, and he didn't. And, even in his press conference with Sporting, he had mentioned that, he should have did better and he deserves a second chance, but he had many chances to protect these women and he chose not to, and he continued to do it. And what was even more disgusting was the fact that he then went ahead and, suggested him for other teams to get a job, and he got it. And so that just enabled him to continue letting this man abuse other players and women. And then, I know that's my personal stance, but I believe that, with talking with the other ladies of our group, that is a general consensus.
The denying of facts was just wild for me there. Thad, you made a good point that it's been so long since the Yates report came out and how comprehensive it was, to just come out and say, we don't have all of the facts. If there are other facts that we should know, he had a lot of time to compile them.
He's had a lot of time to put out the information. If there was something wrong, or if there was something misleading, if there was some untruth in those reports, he's had a lot of time. And he had that opportunity then, because he was asked about it in a couple different ways. He could have said, this is false, this is false. Some of that stuff, the only thing he tried to say was, this is hearsay, some stuff like that. But it still came down to he had opportunities to protect people. Even if some of that was not 100% true, he had opportunities to protect women players and wives of male players. So,
And something else I would like to say is within that same realm is he, says, there are things that aren't factual or whatever. And like you said, he could have, said, well, this is what is the truth. He could tell us the truth. But not only that, what has he done since he was fired to better himself and to make it where women will trust him?
He took a online course.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, and not good enough.
He mentioned several times that he took a course from Cornell. It was very difficult, very engrossing, or whatever term he used. And then it kind of towards the end, he said it was an online course. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem like much of a struggle there for something that you should have known already. I mean, I know I've been in the corporate world, and I know we all have taken various different courses on sexual harassment and workplace and all these different things. I had to take a sexual harassment course to write for SB Nation.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that he didn't know what was right from wrong.
Absolutely.
Brandy, the reaction of other supporter groups has left me wanting a little bit here. So I wanted to hear your reaction to that. And you kind of touched on that the press conference really did not do it for you, and that he, what else? We have other questions for him. And the Cauldron, their response was indicating that there's going to be some form of Q&As coming up. Do you plan on being involved in any of those? And do you think that he's going to have a combination of words that will make this better in these Q&As?
No, I don't. I'm just being honest. I don't think, and just even things I've seen on social media, I think that is the general consensus that these Q&As are going to do nothing. And, that was something that the Cauldron was like, oh, hey, they're going to do this Q&A. And I think even South Stands also said that in their, little blurb about what was going on. And that was also said in the press conference. So it wasn't even something that was specific for the Cauldron or for South Stands. That was something was already going to be planned.
Yeah.
And I feel like the silence on behalf of the Cauldron board and the silence mostly of the South Stand as well is, it hurts because, I actually used to be a board member for the Cauldron, and I feel like when I was on that board, we would have made a stronger stance about what's happening. And I don't feel like they're listening to their membership.
Have you been in contact with any of them? No,
I have not. All I know is that there is a ISC meeting coming up soon, which is all other groups that are umbrellaed under them, which the ladies are a part of, and that will be like next week. But they haven't really made it aware to their general assembly of supporters, paid members. And so those are the people, like they have people who represent those people who are not umbrellaed, and they haven't even had anybody post about that on their Cauldron Facebook page of like, hey, what's your complaints? I will take this to that meeting. And I feel like that's also disappointing.
When they talked about those town halls, from what I've heard, is the earliest would be the end of February or perhaps even the end of March before they would have that town hall. And not that I think the town hall is going to solve anything or answer any real questions, but does it just feel like they're just doing it to kind of stall the whole thing? Like, hope it dies out by then?
Oh, absolutely. I think that they are trying to wait everybody out to see how this pans out. And, I do think that they are like, oh, people just forget about it. Like we did last year when everybody was upset about the different issues that were going on with the front office. And, the Cauldron had put out the statement, and they actually listened to their supporters and their paid members. And then we got that Q&A, and the Q&A did absolutely nothing. Nothing was changed. Nothing was listened to. I think they threw a couple little here and there things, but it wasn't anything significant. And, I kind of feel the same way with, what this is. It's like, oh, here's a little crumble of something. They'll be fine with it. And we're not going to be fine with it. This is a absolutely disgusting hire on behalf of them. And I don't really feel like it is the values of what this team used to be and the club. And it makes me really sad.
That's what has really hurt me, Brandy. Like, I was even looking through some of the older posts on Ladies of SKC social, and I could see and feel you guys were on the same page with me that this team was seemingly doing things different. They went out of their way to do stuff the right way. And that for me is what has hurt so much. And you also mentioned the kind of compilation of issues or a lack of listening to the fans over the last couple years. How do we go forward? Are you able to summon the excitement for the players of the team this year? How do you see this going?
I see a lot of protests inside the stadium, banners, flags, clothing, pins, buttons, pretty much anything, as long as it's not banned. I think I did see a little blurb somewhere that the Cauldron said that nothing would be changed. Everything would still be allowed inside stadium, but we'll see, because they could change their mind at any minute. They do that with any other policy that they have. I think people will do what they can. I also heard today that they're not doing any refunds for people who are wanting it because they're so disgusted with this hire. So I think people will still plan on going to the games, or they'll try to sell their tickets. But I think the ones who are very angry will continue to protest throughout the entire season. And no, it's going to put a dark cloud over the entire season. It's sad.
I'm just saying there is a certain number of GW out signs in the Cauldron every game that will be too much for them. And 10 plus every game, and then all of a sudden we're not allowed to hold signs in the Cauldron anymore, I guarantee you.
Oh, I agree with
I wouldn't be surprised if those are banned from day one.
Yeah.
Or it'll be a security person that just overstepped their bounds and took them away. Something along that line, which has happened at other stadiums.
Well, it happens at our stadium a lot too. The security, they don't communicate well. And so things get taken away that aren't supposed to.
Did not realize that.
Yeah, lots of things happen.
You mentioned some scarves or buttons and things like that. I'm very interested in anything like that. I want to hear more on that if anything like that is coming.
So the ladies did have a little bit of a planning strategy committee last night. And we had talked about all the options and how we were going to do that, because we do want to do merch. And so that is in the process. We actually have somebody who decided to spearhead it and kind of going through all of that. And we're trying to get that out as fast as possible.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. And I believe there's something of a protest in the works. Is that correct?
Yes. First of many, hopefully. We are planning this Saturday to be at the warehouse cell. It's kind of like the first SKC event that's happening. And so we are encouraging everybody to come out. We are going to be on the sidewalk. We are going to be peaceful, but kind of just maybe get some people's attention. We are going to pass out flyers to people who may not know what's going on. Hope to have a lot of people there. We're going to be there from 10 to noon.
10 to noon.
It is 10 to noon. It will be chilly, so we ask people to bundle up, bring some hot hands, stay as long as you can, bring your signs, and join us.
Meet some fun people.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of great people in the Ladies of SKC. I can vouch for quite a few of them.
That's been one of them.
I was a honorary member of Ladies of SKC when they started. I don't know if I still count. My wife and daughter went to several of the events, and I was good friends with Barb Goebel and some of the others. Always called Barb because she had a bell somewhere in her family history.
And a lot of love for Barb.
Absolutely. Yeah. We miss her so much.
You were talking about honorary members. Is there official membership of Ladies of SKC?
The only thing that you need to be a Lady of SKC is frankly join our group. We're on Facebook. We have a Twitter page, which kind of got dusted off recently. And, you know, that's really it. We don't charge a membership. We just talk about the game and support each other.
And that was that's one of the things I loved about the Ladies of SKC is some of the Facebook groups were always bickering about things, but the ladies would be talking about, you know, what went right, what went wrong, but it was always more of a friendly, welcoming, learning atmosphere kind of thing.
Wow, who would have thought a logical, rational, and fun and friendly place online? Sounds like a good.
It was rare. Yep.
Join us. You won't regret it.
Brandy, thank you very much for joining us and talking to us today. And I hope to have you back on again soon.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Thad. It was a great time.
Glad you came on. I'm just sorry that it's for this reason.
Me too. But you know what? We're going to continue to fight this until he's gone.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thank you.